1-0 down, struggling. Nunez off the bench to turn it around and win it 2-1. I think we've actually seen that script before, haven't we? How's it going, people? So we've just beaten Fulham 2-1. Pretty good result for us in the end to set us up quite well for the second leg of the League Cup semi-final when we take on Fulham again in, I think, a couple of weeks from now. But not the best performance. We were missing a lot of key players. Endo and Salah still on international duty, of course. Soboslai out injured. Trent now joining him on the injury list. Shimikas and Robertson already out. A lot of key players missing. We did have Van Dijk back from illness, although I'm not going to lie, with the first kind of 30-40 minutes he had in this game, it looked like he might still be carrying it or still recovering. But yeah, not the best performance from us. We did look a bit disjointed. Again, really slow start to the game, lacking creativity in that first half. A similar story we've seen a lot this season, so not even something to just purely pin on the injuries we've got to key players, but a recurring issue for us, and one that, you know, we've patched in certain periods where we've had, you know, there were a few recent games like Newcastle, Burnley come to mind, where we started the games fast. But a lot of these games where it's slow starts and we've become this kind of second half FC, as some people have dubbed us, relying on some tactical tweaks or, you know, subs off the bench to really come on and change the game for us. And hey, it's working. It's not really something we can just call luck at this point. We are in January now, so it is something that's working. It is showing the strength and depth that we have. It is also something I really want to applaud Klopp for, finally making changes early in games, early into the second half, you know, when things aren't quite working out. Something people, you know, and myself as well as a Liverpool fan, used to criticise him before, was sometimes he would wait too long in his earlier seasons. He'd wait that little bit too long to make the change in games where we were struggling. A little bit of stubbornness, some people would call it, but he's certainly been on the ball this season with those changes. And once again today, it's worked out for us. We, of course, fall behind in that slow start. Willian pouncing and scoring. It came from a Van Dijk error. Poor header from him. We get caught out then. Willian actually still has a bit to do. Wriggles past a few players and then gets one in at the near post. Gallagher probably should do a bit better to save it, but we can cut him a little slack because there's a few defenders in front. And I think, yeah, just a poor goal from all angles to concede. Gives Fulham the lead, gives them something to hold on for, but it wasn't just a back to the wall job for them for the rest of the game. They still had some chances in that first half. And I think it was actually not even in the first half, it was the second half that they eventually had a huge chance to go 2-0 up. Robinson, I think it is, gets clear and has to square the ball. Doesn't. It's Cordova-Reid who gets through and should clear the ball. I think it was Robinson who was making the run. Doesn't square it, and we survive a huge scare where it could have been 2-0. And finally, we do come back into the game and turn it around. It was two of those subs who've come off the bench really making the difference. Nunez setting up Curtis Jones for the first, and then Nunez again getting an assist for the other sub who helped change the game, and Cody Hakpo. We get the 2-1 win. We have an advantage to take into that second leg, so things looking good for us again in terms of the results, in terms of the overall picture for this season. But naturally, a performance that we've got to improve on. We've got to get better. We can't really replicate that kind of performance, or yeah, it's going to spell trouble for us. Fulham very much in this tie. They'll probably be disappointed they didn't take away more. I think on the balance of play, a win for Liverpool was fair, but from Fulham's perspective, having the lead, having the huge chance for 2-0, they'll be disappointed they didn't do more with the result. But 2-1 is still a very open tie. It will be at Fulham's ground in a couple of weeks' time, where we will have just played away to Bournemouth a few days before, whereas Fulham are actually going to have a break before that because they played this weekend and then they get their Premier League winter break the following one, whereas we get our break this weekend. So yeah, that away tie does have me a little worried. I don't think it's anywhere near to over yet. Big performance is going to be needed in a couple of weeks, but of course Bournemouth before that. So for the Liverpool players now, a much needed rest. Hopefully get the energy back. Maybe work on a few tactical tweaks that we probably can't train because a lot of the time at the moment is recovery between constant games. But yeah, hopefully a refreshed and ready Liverpool side in a few weeks. Not in a few weeks, in a week and a half until we play Bournemouth. Hopefully Soboslai's back for that as well. Trent not long after that. And yeah, we start getting some key players back for what is hopefully a big push for some trophies. But yeah, otherwise, before I cut this one out, actually, big shout out to Conor Bradley. He's got to be my man of the match. A really, really mature and assured performance from him, covering for the injured Trent at right back, just thrown into it. Got a few minutes against Arsenal. He's had to just step up, and boy did he. Again, like I say, really assured performance from him, both defensively, pretty sound, and going forward as well. Not really doing the inverted role, obviously, that Trent would do, but still getting in, still creating, and very nearly sets us up for a third goal at the end there, playing in Nunez after making a great kind of overlapping run for Jota to get him in for the cross. Nunez can't quite bury it, but a good performance from him, and certainly one he can hold his head up high. He may get a couple more games yet before Trent's back, so hopefully he can keep it up. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below who your man of the match would be, what you thought of the performance and Liverpool's position going forward. But till the next one, take care.